So there we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm John Miglash for the Wisconsin DMA and the International Society for Strategic Marketing. Well, we've got a meetup coming up in Wisconsin, in Milwaukee, in Elm Grove. And we're going to go to what I think used to be the old. Well, anyway, get the details on WDMA. But it's Thursday, the 23rd, I think, of September at 6 p.m., and we'll be sending out stuff to the people in Milwaukee best we can. But if you're from Chicago, it's a nice drive. It's not that difficult. But you leave at about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. You get out of Chicago plenty of time. And, drive around and see the sights. Anyway, let's get over to the news. Okay, this one's a real shocker. And pardon me for not marking it all up. I had some challenges with the techie stuff, which I often do. We were going to do that. Yep, let's go. Let's move this one over. Live is tough. So I just want to play this commercial from my childhood. And I want you to note, just watch, pay attention. It's an Aunt Jemima commercial from 1967.
Aunt Jemima pancakes without her syrup is like the spring without the fall. There's only one thing worse in this universe. That's no Aunt Jemima's at all.
Aunt Jemima's without Aunt Jemima syrup?
That's ridiculous.
Okay, so it was basically a white family with Aunt Jemima enjoying Aunt Jemima pancakes. And one of the Aunt Jemimas, one of the people who played Aunt Jemima, actually was her home after she passed away was designated a national monument because of the of all the devotion to that. But as you know, if we get rid of the YouTube, as you know, pearl mining got rid of Aunt Jemima because there was positive and negative. It was controversial. Let's just say it was controversial. That's fair. But now the packaging says, just as good as Aunt Jemima, which does some funny things in your brain, right? One of those principles of advertising is you don't mention your competition because people will pay more attention to the competition than they will to the new brand. And so I would advise Pearl Mining to just forge ahead. They're putting out a new commercial, which shows basically all black families and different contexts, but it's all black. Now, my own experience, which was growing up in the Deep South and then moving to a suburb, and outside of the suburbs, I would say, in those days it was a long ways out. When we moved there was no freeway, so it took, 45 minutes or something just to get to the edge of Milwaukee. But, we just didn't have much experience. I went down with multicultural anything. My dad took me down to the Father Grappi marching, and so we marched along in there. I don't know what the address was, but in what we called. I don't know what we called it. We just marched with Father Grappi, and when Father Grappi organized a march to Madison, Dad went down to where they were camping and invited a bunch of the people up to stay at our house. And so we had a big pot of chili. We played pool in the basement, and that was about as multicultural as I got. There were only white people around where I lived. That's all it was. And so, that's controversial too. It's still kind of that way mostly, but not entirely. So maybe you need to change this. I just listened to like 45 minutes of Aunt Jemima history. But anyway, you got either that or, we all are racist. We all have positives. That's what Reggie White tried to say in one of his great messages to the state legislature of Wisconsin. And he was vilified for it, which I thought was a great tragedy because what he was trying to do was talk about the positives of race. And to me, Aunt Jemima was a positive. But That's only because, I didn't know any better, I suppose. But anyway, you have the alternative of 39, almost 40% of all internet traffic is from bad bots. Not just bots, but bad bots. Those naughty bots. And according to this, automated traffic takes up 64% of internet traffic. 25% of that automated traffic was made by good bots, such as search engine crawlers and social network bots. 39% of all traffic was bad bots, according to Barracuda, which is one of the leaders in server protection. Whoa! So only about a third is human. My goodness. Think about that when you're doing your advertising allocation, right? Okay, so over to Ritson. Today's article by Mark Ritson was Ritson's top quotes from marketers who aren't dead white men. And as I've noted before, anti-racism can be racism. It calls attention to something that really is unfortunate. Because now he brought in his top 10 quotes. Apparently he had done an article about great marketing heroes of the past 150 years. And then he got in trouble because the list was dominated by dead white men. And he didn't want to deny that these great marketers, he didn't want to deny them, and he didn't want to ignore their contribution, but he knew that it didn't reflect today's marketing. So it's kind of a quandary, right? And so what he did was go out on the internet and ask for top 10 quotes from marketers who aren't dead, and he picked these top 10. And what struck me about them is, and pardon the pagination here, is how trendy they are and how they're just not punchy. You can always be an agitator and a disruptor, but what for? You need to step back to look at the latest shiny object. To look for the latest shiny object is not always useful. I don't even know what that's about. And as I went through these, as a CMO, I want my business to be the disruptor in an industry, not the disrupted. Okay, and she is in her a couple of times. As a marketer, the more closely you can understand your customer from a human perspective, the better. And again, that's an interesting turn of phrase. My red doesn't show up on red, unfortunately. There was one really, really good one, so I'll go down to that. And you can go over to WDMA and subscribe. It's free. Planners should have post-it notes on their desk saying they really don't give a shit. People's indifference to brands and advertising should be the starting point. Sarah Carter. That one was golden. And again, I apologize for the pagination. I did this fast, but here's my take on the whole thing. I'll show you my take. And in defense of the quotes, they probably were done, in a speech or something like that, where it probably was done extemporaneously, and that isn't always. You don't always get the punchiest quotes. But here's a quote from a tweet from Ginger Conlon. And Ginger is a longtime direct marketing expert, and we go back a long way. And she quoted, "Mail doesn't throw itself away. You have to engage with it. That's the magic." Right? Now there's a good quote, right? Oh, and that's from "Every other channel is fleeting." J.R. Miggs. That was my quote on a panel for the Direct Marketing Club of New York, and really great. And that's the way it I guess I kind of think that's the way it should work. Ginger and I probably disagree on a lot of stuff. I don't know. We agree on mail, and we agree on marketing, and we've had great conversations, and we've worked together as she's published some of my articles, and I always like and subscribe and share all her stuff. So thank you for that, Ginger, and don't be afraid to work with people different than yourself. That's kind of one of the things I liked about the direct marketing industry. It was very, very different perspectives from all directions, and perspective diversity is the most important thing of all. Have a great day. Like and share. Your friends will know you're smart.